Hello everybody, how are you? Thank you to the Hauppauge Public Library. Krista, thank you for having me. Tonight we have a pasta dish from Tuscany. And Chris and I, we did this virtually with a chef over in Italy back early summer. And you will love this dish. And I think this is my favorite pasta right now. It's just something totally different. A little away from the tomato sauce and all that. And then I'm going to make a chicken corn chowder. So I got a lot of cooking to start doing and that. So if you have any questions, anything, please put it in the chat box. My name is Chef Rob. Chris and I, we do this every day, sometimes twice a day. He likes to do it 3 times a day, but I'd rather not. No, I would do it. So everybody, I just have to do something really quick on this burner right here for the soup. And because I just want to get it boiling. So I am going to add in 3 cups of heavy cream. And I'm going to add in some chicken broth.
Emily says hi.
Hello, good evening, Emily. And then I'm going to add in 3 cups of chicken broth. The chicken broth, I am going to add this. I'm adding water. And now I'll add a little bit of the chicken base. You add about 1 tablespoon per quart of water, okay? And then we'll let that in the pot for a little while, let that start cooking, okay?
Rena X, hi. Did I miss the beginning? Nope, this is it. We just started.
Yeah, we just started. We just put in chicken broth and heavy cream in the soup pot. I just want to get that cooking.
And the Hauppauge Library just posted the recipe.
Okay, yep. They're always so good. So everybody, I'm just going to put this lid on it because I want to get that cooking. And then I'm going to add in some fresh vegetables to it. So we're just going to slide over and we're going to do the pasta from Tuscany because I have to I got to freshen up some nice colored tomatoes and put them into the oven for a little while. So let's just do that. I'm just going to take a little bit of spray. Got a nice glass dish here. It's a little bigger than I need. It's an 8x8 for this recipe is perfect. But if you have a little more room, you could toss it around easy. Okay. So it's not like you're baking a bread in here. So I hope everybody is doing good today. Nice day. A little chilly, but not bad for January, right? Yes.
Susan X, is there a recipe available for the chicken corn chowder?
It should be. It should be on the Hauppauge Facebook page. If not, I will send them an email. Okay, when we're done here. Okay. Everybody, make the chicken corn chowder. You gotta make it. Okay. Winter soup. You gotta make that. So I have 4 cups of the colored tomatoes. You can cut these in half or leave them whole. These are not that large of tomatoes, so I am going to put about 4 cups in here.
She said thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, look at these beautiful tomatoes. So I'm going to leave a few of these on the side. I like using the colored tomatoes, just make the dish look really, really pretty. This is going to go in a 375 oven, and we want to get them until they burst, okay? So I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil, the extra virgin olive oil. About 1 tablespoon, just enough to kind of coat these. We're going to take about a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Let's give that a little sprinkling just like that. And now about a 1/4 teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. Okay, so a couple twists and then you're good. Okay. I love capers. Capers aren't for everybody. It's great Mediterranean food, great with like a chicken piccata, puttanesca sauce. When I make the panzanella Italian bread salad, I add the capers to it. So I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of rinsed, okay, these are rinsed capers, okay, because they can be very salty, okay. And just from rinsing them, they're in a little bit of water. So I'm going to toss them all in here. they have so much flavor. Anything with salt brings out flavor, okay? So now I just want to take this and toss this around. You know, I am just going to add the rest of the tomatoes. That way I can throw away this carton. Make sure you wash them all good, which I did. And I love the tomatoes in this dish. And they just kind of burst and they just have so much flavor. Okay. So we're going to have to roast this. And it takes about 30-35 minutes, but I'm going to turn up the heat so that it cooks a little bit quicker, but then we'll go over and we will start doing our chicken corn chowder. Okay, so you want to take some breadcrumbs, about 1/2 of a cup, and just kind of top this. See how I'm just kind of covering the tomatoes? It's not going to be packed with breadcrumbs, but this, when it's baked and the olive oil comes together, oh, it's so good. So about 1/2 of a cup. Any questions, Chris?
Nope, don't see any.
Okay. And then let's top it with a little bit more olive oil here. And we're just going to bake this till it's nice and golden. You could take this and you could eat this just like this when it comes out of the oven. So good. But you have to be really careful because tomatoes, when they come out of the oven, they're piping hot, so you don't want to burn your mouth.
Steve X, where do you find the capers in the supermarket?
Right by like the pickles and yeah, that aisle there, right by the dressings. They're usually you get them in a tall, very thin bottle. Okay, yes.
Mary Jean X, seasoned breadcrumbs?
Seasoned breadcrumbs, yes. And of course, whatever ones you use is the best ones. I like the 4C ones. I think those are really good. So I'm going to put these into the oven. While I just put this in the oven for a second, Chris is going to show you an event that we are doing on January 23rd and February 20th. It's at many libraries all over the country, and it'll be on my Facebook page as well. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven, then we're going to start making the chicken corn chowder. So I hope you all come. You can always make that with me. You can watch it then, and you can, or you make it later, okay? But it's gonna be a really big event. We did one in December, and we had so many people watch. So that was really great. We had fun. Yes, Chris.
Emily X, can you use panko instead of breadcrumbs?
Absolutely. Yep, panko would be great with that.
Laura said Home Goods has a nice selection of capers too for a good price.
Oh, that's great to know.
Then Rena said 4C was a local Long Island family company.
Really? I didn't know that. I've been using them forever. I always liked the Progresso ones as well, but I'm actually not sure if they make them anymore. I know when they started shrinking the shelves and shrinking packages, that was something that I believe went, the Progresso. I remember the tomatoes. Maybe they have the breadcrumbs. I think they got rid of the tomatoes. So I'm just going to cut up some carrot. Got a small carrot, huh, Chris?
Yep, never seen one that small.
Never seen it. So I'm just going to peel some of this here. For this recipe here, you would use 2 medium carrots, or I don't even need to use this whole carrot here because it is so large. Okay. So I'm making a small batch of it, but I'm going to give you the exact recipe to make enough for about 8 people, okay? 8 nice bowls of soup. So I'm just cutting this down the middle, and then cut it just like that.
Colleen X, where do I find the recipe for the corn chowder?
If it's not on their website, it will be, because I sent them the recipes earlier, so you can even go back tomorrow and it should be up there, okay? I'm just going to give this a rough chop. Now, when you're cooking soup or sauteing vegetables, always cook the hardest vegetables first because they need the most cooking, okay? So I am going to throw some carrots in here. And when this starts boiling, which it's starting to get really hot right now, I'm going to leave this lid on it, but I'm going to make sure it doesn't go over on me. I want 2 stalks of celery. Always wash them really good. you can make them big chunks, little chunks, whatever you like. The smaller you cut it, the quicker and tender the vegetables get, and you get to eat quicker. You can make this with turkey. You can make it with chicken. Right after Thanksgiving, this would be a perfect soup. Using turkey stock, turkey broth, and this one I am just using chicken broth because I have chicken and I'm making chicken. Use leftover rotisserie chicken. Use boneless chicken breast, chicken thighs, okay? Make sure it's cooked, okay? Because we just dropped the chicken in at the end, okay? Okay, so celery and carrots are in here. And then potatoes to make the chowder. You can use, I have one medium-sized potato in there. Some people might like a little more. Now that New Year's is here, everybody's saying, I gotta go low carb again, right? That seems to be the flavor of the year again, low carb. So I am just gonna cut that, dice that up. Just turn that into halves. And just cut it into nice chunks.
Emily,
I want to get these vegetables nice and tender.
Emily asks, can you use beef?
Beef, I wouldn't do that. I would do a different type of soup. You know, something like almost brothy. You know, I'm not a fan of like a cream soup with some beef in it. That's not really my thing. But you know what? Everybody's different, and if it works for you, that is fine. So we're just going to get these nice and hot. Okay. That chicken base, it has a lot of flavor in it. The one that you find in the supermarket is better than bouillon. It's very salty, but what you can do is you can control the salt with it. Okay, so you just put in as much or as little as you want. It's about 1 tablespoon per quart of water to make it really flavorful. Okay. Now, while this is cooking, while the vegetables are getting nice and tender, it will have to come to a boil. So I'm going to make a roux. A roux is normally made with butter, melted butter, and flour. Save on some calories. You can add just water and flour too, okay? Because this has so much in here, and it'll make it nice and flavorful. So I am going to put in about 7 tablespoons of flour, okay, about 7 tablespoons. Now I have an eye for it, that's why I am just kind of going like that. And now I'm going to add in 7 tablespoons of water too, because you want equal parts of water to equal parts of flour.
Emily asks, then how about fish?
Fish? Yeah, you could do, like if you used like a lobster stock or a shrimp stock, clam juice would be good. And then you could do a seafood one. Yes, that would be good. So I just need a little bit more water. Now, when you make something like this, always put a pinch of salt in, because what the salt will do will take away any lumps in a cream sauce, a gravy, a cream soup, anything like that.
Yeah, Emily asks, how about cornstarch?
Cornstarch? Yeah. You're going to have a little bit of a different type consistency because of the cream in there. I really haven't used it like that, but you certainly would save calories, okay? I want to keep an eye on this. You can see that is boiling. So I cut the vegetables pretty small so that way they get nice and tender quick. So the only time I will add this in is when it is boiling, but I don't want to do that yet because I want to make sure that those vegetables get really nice and tender. So I am going to put in the corn as well. You can use fresh, you can use a bagged corn, canned corn.
What about popped?
Just drain it really good. Popcorn, Chris? No. So some corn in there. And then I have some from a dinner we had the other night. We had some chicken. So I diced up some chicken and I will add this in a little bit. About 1.5 cups of chicken is good. But you know, if you love chicken in there, you put more in. If you want just a little bit and want it more vegetable, add a lot of vegetables to this. But this quick soup is so delicious. I'm actually just going to kind of leave this to the side because I want to go back over to the pasta. Anybody have any questions?
Nope, don't see any.
Okay. Before I continue, I want to tell everybody of a class that I'm doing tomorrow night. You will really like this class. I'm doing a class with the air fryer. Okay, a lot of us over the holidays got an air fryer. Okay, maybe you got one last year and you still haven't taken it out of the box. Well, tomorrow at the Levittown Public Library, I am doing a buttermilk Parmesan crusted chicken, and that will be done in the air fryer. And then I'm going to do, Chris, I don't think I told you this. I'm doing buttermilk panko crusted pickles with almost like a Creole dipping sauce for it in the air fryer.
I've only had fried pickles once, I think.
How'd you like them?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I've only had them a couple times, but I like them.
Yeah.
I like them. Yeah. I normally, whenever I've done them, it's been a while since I've done them, I always cut them into big coins like. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to have the big spears, cut them into spears. Okay, so it's almost like eating a big French fry. Okay.
Let's see. Emily asked, can you use chicken thighs?
Chicken thighs for tomorrow night, you mean? Or for this here?
Not too sure.
Yeah, we'll let
Steve,
him.
Steve said, I'm with Chris. I would like some popcorn.
Popcorn, all right. I'll serve popcorn next time.
And then Maggie asked, you're doing fried pickles tomorrow too?
I am. It's like bonus day. It's like buy one dish, get one free. You know, it's, yeah. Maggie, drive out here. Come on. Maggie's the best. She's from Plain Edge. And
Emily
we do the library from Plain Edge. It's so good.
Emily
Yeah.
said soup.
What's that?
The soup.
The soup, absolutely. Whether it's chicken legs, the thighs, the breast, rotisserie chicken that you have left over. Wherever you have leftover chicken, put it into a soup like this. So I'm just going to give this a few more minutes, get it nice and tender, those vegetables, and then we slowly start adding in the flour and water mixture. You can see there's no lumps, but it will make it a really nice cream soup. Yes, Chris?
Rena said, we could use the leftover buttermilk from the cinnamon chocolate chip bread for the chicken. Fried pickles are very southern and quite tasty.
Love them, yes. It's been a while, but I'm looking forward to them leftovers.
And then Maggie said, oh my god, I'm so there. I'm addicted to fried pickles.
That's great. Okay, let's go back over and just talk about the pasta for a minute, okay? While these are cooking, okay? So now, when we did this class in Italy, we did this, I think it was back in like June, and we used our pasta here. They, of course, make their fresh pasta. So I said to him, I said, if you had to use a store brand, what would you use? And he says, well, first, we wouldn't use a store brand. We make our own pasta in Italy, which I get it. You know, that's what you do. I don't have the time for it. So I said, what would be the brand that you would, if you just couldn't have time? And he said it was this one here, this Secco. This is so good. You pay more for it. You won't get this for that 99 cents like the other ones, okay? But this one, the quality is so there, and this is the one that they would buy in Italy, okay? So I guess a little promo for the company, huh? Pretty good, huh? Okay. So I'm using rigatoni, okay? On the recipe it says penne, but I felt like for dinner, I felt like rigatoni, so that's what I'm doing, okay? It's pretty close, just a little bigger. I boiled it for about 12 minutes, so it's already boiled. I have it right in this pot right here, and then when I was done with it, what I did was I reserved some of the pasta water. The pasta water will give it so much flavor at the very end. I'm also going to take a little Parmesan Reggiano cheese. I know if you watch me nightly, you see me use Parmesan Reggiano cheese all the time. It's the best. It's about $12 a pound. Wrap it really tight and always buy the smallest one because you'd rather go back and buy a fresher one. The way to cut it, see this has a little black rubber stopper there. So this way it doesn't just keep going like this as you're trying to grate it. It's almost like a little break, okay? So you just shave a bunch of this off, and with cheese, there's no limit to it, okay? You could put as much or as little as you want.
Rena said, I knew you were going to say this brand.
You did, huh?
For the pasta.
Yeah, that's good. I think if I had a second choice and they weren't there, I think I would probably use Barilla. I think that's my next choice I would use. I just wanted to go back over to the soup. In a little bit when I add the chicken, since it's fully cooked, I don't need to heat it. I just want to drop it in at the very end. It's going to be hot, okay? Because if I add it in right now, it just keeps boiling, and gets tougher, okay? So you leave that on the side, okay? I'm just going to go back, just grate a little bit more Parmesan. I have some already done. Parmesan Reggiano, I should say. And getting to the end of this here, so this soon will go into some nice tomato sauce or pasta visual soup, and will give so much flavor. Okay. Now, we also have a class on Saturday. I have 2 different classes while these are cooking here. Saturday, we have at 2 o'clock at the Glen Cove Public Library, we're doing a chocolate chip cookie pizza. Okay?
It's been a while since we've done that.
It is. And I'm doing some of those in February as heart-shaped. I had somebody, just right before we went on here, we had a library book it for a heart-shaped way. And then at 3:30 that day, if you want to go to Massachusetts, okay, we're at the Weston Public Library in Massachusetts on their Facebook page. And we are going to make dragon noodles. It's a Chinese dish with chicken and vegetables. So if you're a vegetarian, you can make this along with us and just use vegetables, okay? And you can go to their website or Facebook page and get the recipe. Okay.
Rena said, Barilla is a real family in Italy. I think there were or are several brothers.
Oh, okay. You know a lot. You know a lot of families, whether it's in Italy or Long Island, don't you? Okay, I am just going to go check on the tomatoes in the oven. They still have a few minutes to it. I'm just going to kind of feel these vegetables. Carrots are the hardest, so I just want to make sure that it kind of cuts nice and easy. That way I know they're nice and tender. Nice and tender. Just really, yep, nice and easy.
Rena said, I wish I knew them personally.
Me too. So I am just going to take this out. Now that it's boiling, and you can only add the flour and water mixture with a little bit of salt in there while it's boiling to thicken it. I want to slowly just add this in here. I want to stay with it. If I need to make more, I can always make more. But if I put too much in at one time, I might have where I could fill potholes. It can get really, really thick. I just want this to really just kind of coat the back of a spoon, okay? Okay. So we're going to let this simmer just a little bit because it still can get a little bit thick. I might need to add just a little bit more flour and water. I'm going to add in the chicken right now. And while that is cooking, I can just tell I need a little bit more flour-water mixture. So I'll add that right in here, just a little bit. Remember the pinch of salt so that way there's no lumps. About the same amount of water. So if you're making this at home, probably measure it out so that way you have that right consistency. You've had this, right, Chris? I've made this for you?
I think so.
I made this years ago.
I probably had it at one of your classes.
Probably. Okay, so you can start seeing it's almost nice chowder look to it. Just going to add in a little bit of it. Slowly whisk it. So I've been going to the Hop Hog Library for about 8 years. Every time I go there, we always have 40 people, and we usually have about 16, 17 on a waiting list. And it's really unbelievable. Community in Hop Hog really comes out for their programs, and I really miss going in there. You have a beautiful new library. You guys do a lot with the library. If anybody's not from Hop Hog, please look at their Facebook page. A lot to offer. This is exactly the way I want it. The exact consistency, if you can see. It's nice and hearty. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to take this. Just want to show you how I would serve this. You always want to kind of mix it around a little bit, kind of get a nice scoop of everything. Potatoes, chicken, get from the bottom, okay? I'm going to turn this off. Now you could use this base here the same as if you wanted to do a broccoli and cheddar soup, okay, a cream of spinach soup. You do everything the same way. So now that this is done, I don't want it to stick to the bottom of the pot and keep cooking. So I'm just going to put this on the side just like this. Take it off. Okay. Now, I'm not finished with it. Yes, Chris?
Steve said, my sister took a cooking class in high school, and if the students left a utensil in the pot or pan while it was cooking, the teacher took points off their final grade.
Yeah, but the teacher's not here, Steve.
He is the teacher.
Yeah. Yep, I get it. I've heard that, and it's just something I don't always leave it in there, but at times, definitely, I leave it in there. I'm going to cut up a little bit of scallion. You would need about 5 scallions for this. Always in January, the scallion prices go up, okay? A lot of things go up, all different times of the year. So I'm just going to take these little tops off. There's not too much that is really tough on these scallions. So now I'm just going to cut it all the way down because I want some of the green and then some of the nice strong onion flavor at the very bottom.
Emily asks, instead of chicken, can you add spinach?
Absolutely. You can make this vegetarian if you want, yes. You could take the frozen spinach and add frozen spinach to it, but just defrost it, squeeze out the juice, and then just add it in there. This as a cream of spinach soup would be great. You can do a chicken Florentine soup with it. So this is exactly how I would serve it. Okay? How does that look?
Looks good. Smells good too.
So I am going to go get the tomatoes because I just know they are done. Okay? So I have this really beautiful pasta bowl here that I'm going to put it in. Okay, so everybody, if you could see this here, these are just bursting, okay? You could see the tomatoes, they are bursting. There's a lot of flavor right here in the oil, okay, the salt. If you love your garlic, you could add garlic to this dish. Look at the capers. It's got the salt, the pepper, the breadcrumbs. And now, I'm just gonna bring this over to the sink.
Catherine said looks delicious, and Emily said looks yummy.
Thank you. And now I'm going to take my pasta and add it to this. Okay. I made this on Father's Day. I made this. It was so, so good. If you want to add sun-dried tomatoes to this, this would be really good. Here's some rigatoni. You use whatever pasta you like. I would use something that has a shape like this, not like a spaghetti, because I think this is the type of meal that is good with either this, maybe a bow tie, maybe fusilli, maybe penne. So let's just give this a nice toss right here.
Susan said my family loves your pasta from Tuscany.
Thank you, Susan. It's just something different, a little bit lighter than the old tomato sauce or like a cream sauce. And it just brings out so much flavor. Artichokes would be really good in here. And if it gets a little bit where you feel like it needs a little bit more of a sauce to it, just add in some of the reserve pasta water, okay? I usually save about a cup of the pasta water, okay? And then just toss it. If you make this a little bit early, you could pop this right back into the oven just like this and save that pasta water because you're going to need to heat it up with it so it's kind of loose like this. And then the way to finish this off, some of this Parmesan Reggiano cheese. And I have some more reserved on the side.
Rena asks, how and when would you add artichoke hearts?
The artichoke hearts, I would add, if you're using like the canned ones, I would add them like right now because nothing needs to be done with them. You don't want to overcook them. When they go in with the hot pasta sauce, it's going to be hot instantly, okay? So cheese on here, and this, again, as much as you want to add. Hit it up at the very end with just a little bit of kosher salt and a little bit of black pepper. And if you want to get all those flavors all mixed up too, and you don't want it just on top, just kind of toss that around.
Co-friend asks, how about putting olive oil on top?
Olive oil on top? Absolutely. That would be fine. A lot of Italian dishes, that is the way they do that. Okay, so depends if you like it on the soupier side or if you want it just lightly coated. But I do suggest you save some of this pasta water, just add it. I do have more pasta on the side, so I can actually take this and I can put it into a bigger bowl and just coat it. Okay, so, and I'm gonna put a little bit of fresh Italian parsley. Parsley or basil on top would be fine. If you want a little bit of a different flavor to it, you could always take a little pesto at the very end and it will make a whole different sauce. I'm just going to chop this up here. Nice flat Italian parsley. And you can just sprinkle that right on top.
Mary Jean asks, how about small mozzarella balls?
Small mozzarella balls, absolutely. I would take them and put them on at the very end when it's on a big platter, or put them on a little separate bowl. As people take them, just drop a few of them on there. That would be good too.
Rena asks, artichoke hearts that are in water or in seasoned olive oil?
Water. Definitely the water. The one in seasoned olive oil, the flavor, you're going to take two different flavors and try to bring them together, and I don't think it would work. I think you're better off with plain artichoke hearts just to give it a little bit of a different consistency.
And Maggie said, ooh, I would totally do that with the mozzarella. Then Rena said, yum, looks so good.
Thank you. So I want to hold up this chicken corn chowder again here to show you what that looks like. And look how quick it took to make that. It's quick to make it when you have everything, of course, in front of you, okay? And you have all the ingredients all prepped, everything, okay? We did, last night, it was at the Comstock Public Library, so if you want to go to their Facebook page, we did a salmon hash, and we did an arugula salad with it, and we did a spinach and Munster pie. And it was funny, we did a class yesterday, earlier in the day. It was the Pound Ridge Public Library, and I'm going to be doing that almost weekly through March. Okay, it's around 4:30. Sometimes it will be advertised on my Facebook page, Simply Creative Chef Rob. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes they do the children's classes, and then it's kind of just for the children. Okay. So, but you can keep an eye on. You can go to their website as well. Yesterday I was telling Chris that we do a lot of different states. I think we have about 14 right now. And when we were at the Pound Ridge Library, I had a library call me from Kentucky. So I let Chris guess who it was. And I have to have him guess again because I had a different state call today. Do you want to take a guess?
Arizona?
No.
Missouri?
No.
Don't know.
Oklahoma.
Wow.
Oklahoma. So we have a few libraries in Oklahoma that we're going to start doing some classes with. So that should be fun. It's actually really fun reaching out to all the different libraries, talking to different people from all around the country. We had somebody from Alaska. We do a lot in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, Arkansas, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. I don't want to forget anybody. North Carolina. Did I say that, Chris? No, I don't think I did.
Not sure.
Okay. New Hampshire and Vermont. I think I got them all.
Yeah.
Yes, Chris.
Emily said, I think I will make it, but with shrimp this weekend.
Okay.
Emily also said, I love this soup recipe, and Catherine said, awesome.
Thank you so much. So, everybody at the Hop Hog Public Library, thank you for always having me. A pleasure. I hope to see everybody tomorrow at the Levittown Public Library. So we're going to have the air fryer here. I have the portable air fryer, and then we just got a new oven, and that has the air fryer built into it. So I'll be able to do both of them, the pickles and the buttermilk chicken. Yes, Chris?
Emily said my brother lives in Oklahoma.
Really? Wow.
And then Rena said thank you.
You are welcome. So everybody, have a great night. Thank you, Krista, for having me at your library. You guys are always wonderful. Stay well, stay safe, everybody. And if you haven't seen me since the new year, happy and healthy new year. Bye-bye.